Welcome back to General Hospital Digest, where today's feature dives into the chaos, deception, and emotional warfare unraveling across Port Charles on Tuesday, June 10th. Prepare yourselves, because today's revelations prove that no secret stays buried for long, and no betrayal goes unpunished. At the heart of this tangled drama is Willow Tate, who is once again learning the hard way that trust comes at a high price. Convinced that she's finally outmaneuvered Michael Corinthos in the fight for full custody, Willow is standing firm in her belief that his extended disappearance in Germany, under the guise of treatment, rendered him unfit to parent. For Willow, this isn't just about legal custody, it's about re-establishing control after months of feeling powerless and sidelined by the Corinthos family's wealth and influence. But her confidence may be premature. Michael, who has been quietly making strides in recovery, may be preparing to turn the tide in his favor, especially now that whispers of a falsified account involving a nurse in Germany have begun to circulate. Drew Cain's involvement in possibly bribing or manipulating medical staff during Michael's absence could soon come to light. And if Diane Miller catches wind of this inconsistency, particularly Michael's previous denial that he ever shut Willow out, the entire narrative could collapse like a house of cards. Willow thinks she's in control, but Port Charles is no stranger to courtroom bombshells, and Michael may just be waiting for the perfect moment to strike back. Meanwhile, Christina Corinthos Davis is stirring up trouble of her own, this time at the Metro Court pool. A casual encounter with Ava Jerome quickly turns sour, reigniting old tensions. Christina, ever impulsive, interprets Ava's presence as a provocation. Rather than walking away, she seeks out Cody Bell with a bizarre and hastily conceived request. She wants him to file a lawsuit. Against whom or for what? That remains hilariously unclear. Perhaps it's a reflex, a need to regain some sense of authority or power after feeling slighted by Ava's mere existence. In true Port Charles fashion, the logic is almost irrelevant. What matters more is that Christina is actively escalating what might have been a simple social friction into a legal spectacle. Cody, for his part, might see the opportunity as leverage or a stepping stone into deeper circles of influence, especially if he's being used by another party for an undisclosed agenda. And somewhere, without even knowing why, Alexis Davis is no doubt experiencing an unexplained headache, perhaps sensing that her daughter is once again wading into murky waters without a lifeline. Over at Windermere, the tension shifts from impulsive lawsuits to emotional confessions. Trina Robinson finds herself seeking clarity in an unexpected place, through a private conversation with Ava. Her concern centers around Kai Taylor and his growing bond with Drew Quartermaine, especially as the two men prepare to co-produce a deeply personal documentary chronicling Kai's recovery journey. On the surface, it seems inspiring. But for Trina, something about Drew's sudden involvement feels off. She questions whether Kai truly sees Drew for who he is, or if he's being manipulated into sharing his trauma for ulterior motives. Ava, ever the seasoned survivor of Port Charles's darkest corners, doesn't hesitate. Her warning is clear and chilling: be very careful around that man. While she doesn't name Drew directly, the implication hangs in the air like smoke after a fire. Ava knows what it's like to be pulled into someone's orbit only to realize too late that they were never who they claimed to be. Trina may be wise to listen before Drew's agenda leaves more than just emotional damage in its wake. But perhaps the most volatile firestorm is taking place within the Quartermain family itself. Brooke Lynn Quartermain is no stranger to ambition or confrontation, but today she's taking that aggression to new heights. With Tracy Quartermain issuing quiet warnings in the background, Brooke Lynn is ready to go to war, and her target is none other than Lulu Spencer. The root of the conflict? A deeply personal betrayal involving stolen private notes, confidential information Brooke Lynn suspects Lulu acquired and used in a move that crossed both ethical and legal boundaries. Rather than let it slide, Brooke Lynn has sought legal counsel from Marco Rios, making it crystal clear that she's exploring the possibility of a formal lawsuit. In her view, Lulu's actions weren't born from concern. They were a calculated attempt to damage her reputation and control a narrative that was never hers to tell. Tracy, though never shy to go to battle herself, urges caution. She recognizes that Brooke Lynn's public crusade could backfire, drawing more scrutiny and sensationalism than either woman wants. Tracy might disapprove of Lulu's recent behavior, but she's also shrewd enough to know that litigation would blow the entire situation wide open, exposing not just Lulu's actions but Brooke Lynn's vulnerabilities as well. Yet Brooke Lynn, driven by fury and a sense of injustice, appears unwilling to back down. For her, this isn't just a legal dispute, it's a declaration of war. The courtroom might soon become the next battleground, and if so, every secret, every text, every private moment recorded in those notes could become ammunition in a case that will pit two powerful women against each other with no guarantee of who will emerge victorious. And in the shadows of all these conflicts, Cody Bell finds himself caught in a web of manipulation. Whether he's acting on behalf of someone else or simply navigating opportunities as they come, it's clear that he's being used, or worse, using others. If he agrees to Christina's impulsive lawsuit stunt, he might find himself in the middle of a broader conflict involving Ava and the Cassadine legacy. And if he's secretly working for another party with an interest in destabilizing these relationships, then Christina's misguided trust could make her the perfect pawn in a much larger game. As the day draws to a close in Port Charles, one thing is certain: no one is safe from consequences. Willow's perceived victory could crumble if Michael exposes Drew's actions. Christina's rage could land her in legal hot water. Trina's suspicion may shield her from betrayal, or push her closer to it. Brooke Lynn's legal gambit could bring justice, or public disgrace. And through it all, figures like Cody and Ava linger at the edges, shaping events in subtle but explosive ways. In a town where every truth hides a lie and every alliance hides a motive, survival requires more than just strength. It demands precision, patience, and the ability to strike before being struck. Stay tuned, Port Charles. The storm has just begun.